Hello and welcome to Keeping It Real. Glad to be back. I'm David Grossman. We're broadcasting live here from the kiosk studios, AllTalkTV. Our studio is at Dufferin Deals. And I should say, by the way, if you would like to come down sometime to the studio, we do have some seating. We would be happy to have you come by. We have an exciting show for you today. Let me tell you who is in the studio with us. First up, I have a gentleman, Chris Newell. He's the CEO and lead instructor for Smarter. He's been training sales representative, real estate. I'm having a little trouble talking this morning and need another cup of coffee. Realtors for many years. And I think that's branching out now into some areas. So he has a number of different courses to help you with your negotiations, to help you hire and train an assistant so that you can be free to pursue your sales objectives, and also the Accredited Seniors Agent Program. People are aging, let's face it, there's a big market there. We're going to talk to him about that as well. We also have today Robert Buckler. Robert Buckler is a condominium consultant. His company is Baradan Management and Consulting. We're going to talk to him about the Condominium Act. Condominium explosion out there. So what is happening with property management, the Condo Act in general? He has some ideas and we're going to talk about that. There's been some fraud and different things happening, so he's got some very good ideas on how to keep things under wraps, under control during this explosive growth. We also have Hugh Barnsley. He's a sales representative with Royal LePage, Your Community Realty. Hugh is also a dear friend, and he is specializing in residential and commercial real estate. Today we're going to talk to him about small commercial. There's been some good opportunities out there. Market's a little bit soft. He's got a few listings we're going to look at. Great opportunities in that end of the market to pursue. That's what we have going on today. Let's start with Chris. Chris, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. So we were talking earlier that you were a sales representative yourself at one time, and your dream was to move into training, and you have done so. How did you make that move?
I've been training and coaching realtors my entire real estate career, and before that as well. Not realtors, but in other fields. And a few years ago, I was coming to the realization that I didn't want to sell houses anymore. And the right opportunity came along to get involved with a company based out of Boston. And so I took the leap of faith. And while I'm no longer involved with that company, other opportunities have come along that have just sort of caused the growth of my company.
Right. So the company is called Smarter?
Yeah.
And tell us about Smarter. What does that mean?
Smarter is an acronym for systematic, measurable, achievable, recordable training.
Okay.
And education for results is the ER part.
Right.
And it's basically one of the things in writing courses for real estate schools. I found a big emphasis with a lot of the certification people is that they want courses for the lowest level so that everybody can take them. And that's sort of the opposite of Smarter. Our goal is to have higher level education, and it won't suit everybody. It'll suit people who are very serious about their careers. We're not concerned so much with offering credits.
Okay.
We're concerned with offering education.
Okay, but many of the courses you do offer?
Yeah, most of them we do.
Yes.
However, we go, there are many routes to get courses approved for credits, and we don't go the most obvious one. So.
Right, okay.
And in that, by doing it that way, we get to keep the level of the education higher.
Right. Well, I think that's a good idea, because I know it's a long process to get things approved, and probably by the time it's approved, you've already got new information that you can offer people. So you don't want to be hampered by that in order to give people the latest and the greatest tools and benefit of your knowledge. So one of the courses is Smarter Negotiating for Realtors. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Smarter Negotiating came from two sides. One side was from my frustration sitting across the offer table with other realtors and seeing that they were leaving their clients' money and best interests on the table all the time.
Oh, okay.
Because in real estate school, you don't get trained to negotiate. And nobody's really been offering an in-class, in-depth negotiating course. And so we started doing some research, and in conjunction with the research, we learned that NAR in the US, in their 2011 profile of home buyers and home sellers, their research showed that more than half of all buyers and sellers are completely dissatisfied with their realtors' negotiating skills. They felt that they could have got them a better deal or better terms. And only 5% of sellers actually expect negotiation skills from their realtor, which is really sad, because what else do you bring to the table?
Right,
you know?
right.
So I'd studied negotiation before. I'd been involved in over 20,000 negotiations before my real estate career. And I'd started studying negotiation, took a look at what was being offered out there, and came up with this program that teaches realtors. It's basically a systematic approach based on personality profiles, based on what type of negotiator everybody at the table is. So,
You mentioned that you saw people leaving money on the table and making mistakes. What were some of the most basic things that you saw people doing that they could benefit if they came to your course?
I would say understanding, well, the most basic is asking questions. So if I have a listing and you have a client who wants to make an offer on that listing, you should be on the phone asking me all sorts of questions before you draft your offer, to find out how much information I'm going to give away, and how you can best position your client, and learn about my personality style and my negotiating style.
Right.
And with the right questions, which we give people flow sheets and worksheets of questions,
Yes.
and how to take the responses and figure out what kind of a negotiator someone is.
Right. I was reading through one of your course outlines, and I had to laugh because it said something there that, you know, I'm a mortgage agent, as you probably know, and it talked about it said never fax or email an offer.
Right.
Right. And I've been in sales all my life, and I you know, it wasn't even last year that I got caught in the trap. I sent somebody a mortgage approval, and you know, I can only say, you know, after 20 years of being in sales, that you know, no wonder the deal fell apart. You know, I didn't push hard enough for that meeting.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Do you see that happening very often?
My experience
Yes.
in selling myself is that it was rare that the other agent wanted me to be at the presentation, which is smart on their side.
Yes.
But I would do everything in my power.
Right.
And I see a lot of agents who can't be bothered to go to presentations.
Right.
You know, in every course I teach, I ask about who presents in person, and it's typically less than half of the agents present in person,
Interesting.
which means half of the clients aren't getting anywhere near the representation they could be, and they don't have that negotiating advantage.
It's so true, because, you know, people spend, if you think about the number of hours that people spend trying to find a client, trying to find a qualified lead to turn into either a listing or a potential buyer, and you've done all this work, and now here you are, and you don't give it 100% to try and get that meeting. So it might mean that you have to get in your car late at night or whatever, but it's like, how many hours and days and weeks have you spent getting to this point, and now you don't go that extra mile?
That's where you earn your paycheck.
Right.
Anybody can show houses and all that stuff. It's negotiating the best deal for your client, and every client's different, and you have to be face to face to figure out what's going on in the whole situation, because it's never just about price, it's never just about inclusions, it's a whole package.
Yeah, so true. Another one of the courses is the real estate assistant training. Is that something new that you're offering?
It's new to us. We purchased the company in September. It was established 4 years ago in BC, and it's a 6-day, very intense course. I actually just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, I flew out to Victoria to take part of the course.
Okay.
And my head was melting at the end of each of the 3 days. It's so many people have an assistant, and realtors are typically, to survive in real estate, you've got to know how to sell. Selling and training are two totally different things, and so realtors tend to give very short shrift. You know, they hire someone who may or may not be right, and then they say, okay, here's your desk, see you later.
Right.
You know, whereas we take people and we train them on the forms, all the rules. So the course in BC is different than the course in Ontario because of the different rules and forms and stuff. We teach them on marketing, social media, some scripts and dialogues around answering the phone, how to get their employing realtor to give up some of the control so that they can, do their job, how to make their employing realtor more money by paying them. So it's a fantastic 48 hours of really in-depth learning.
Right. And I suppose there's a number of real estate agents out there who are, a point in their career where if they want to take their business to the next level, they have to be willing to delegate as well, which is a whole other topic.
It is, and we have a 3-hour sort of intro course for realtors. It's launching in Mississauga this coming Friday on how to work with an assistant, how to come up with a job description, how to interview and hire, that sort of thing. We're also in the process of working on basically a psychology 101 to help the assistant help the realtor give up some of the control and delegate stuff.
Right.
At one point in time, I had 5 unlicensed assistants. It was very, very hard for the first 2, but after that it got easy because I saw how much time they were freeing up and how much money I was able to make because I could focus on dollar productive stuff that I was good at.
Well, that's terrific that you got to that level, because I suppose it for a lot of realtors it's a leap of faith, right? It is, because it's a challenging business, and here to hire somebody new, you're taking on additional expenses. And you're not, it'll take some time before you get a payback and sort of readjust in terms of what activities you need to be focusing on. So it is a leap of faith, but like there comes a time in your career where you have to make that, you should be making that move if you want to keep going.
And the course for realtors is called From Me to We in 90 days.
Right.
And it's a 90-day process to where, from when you say, okay, I need an assistant, it's going to be an on-site assistant or a virtual. This is how it's going to work. So from that point to when you can just stop worrying about it, it's about 90 days.
90 days. Well, that's good if you can make it happen in 90 days. We'll mention, by the way, before we talk about the accredited senior agent program, just to people are watching, the website is Education for Results, so people can go to that website and find out more, sign up for training and whatnot. So the accredited senior agent program, how long have you been offering that one?
I took it over from the founder, Barry Lebo, about 1.5 years ago. I was teaching it before that, and I took it 10 or 12 times before that.
10 or 12 times?
Yeah.
Okay, so you must know it.
I believe in taking, every time you take a course, you learn something.
Right.
And it's a fascinating, I love seniors, it's a fascinating topic to me, and it's my most favorite course to teach.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So tell us, why is this course very important? What's the opportunity for sales representatives?
There's a little discussed fact in Canadian society that in somewhere between 2014 and 2016, the number of 65 plus people will be greater than the number of people 15 and under. And so moving forwards in the real estate business, if there's less and less young people and there's more and more old people, and old people have to move far more than first-time buyers don't have to buy. They can stay living at home, they can stay renting, but the senior client will eventually have to move, whether it's into care or whether it becomes an estate sale. And so I think that is an important segment of the market that's an opportunity for people. And working with seniors is very, very different.
How so?
Very different. You'll often have 2 or 3 meetings with people to list a house. In the first meeting, it's all about relationship. It's not about real estate. It's they want to know who you are.
Right.
They want to know, are they comfortable? Do they trust you? They want to be part of your team. They want to have, they want to be involved. And then it goes on to real estate. And typical real estate training is getting better, but the emphasis has always been on, push, 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 fast, and that just doesn't work.
Right.
There's different things that are important to seniors as opposed to younger people. The questions, a lot of seniors haven't moved in 30, 40 years. an awful lot of them. So it's changed. Real estate has changed drastically.
Yeah. Are there a number of other considerations, estate issues that people will learn about on the course?
We talk about, the first day is mostly around statistics and how to find the seniors, and then in the afternoon of the first day we talk about housing options, so retirement residences,
right, okay.
all sorts of different things. The second day we go into wills and estate planning, and it's mostly around the importance of certain things to listen for. If you're meeting with someone whose spouse is just recently deceased, has probate been finalized? And we talk about capital gains, because the typical Canadian real estate investor, non-institutional, is someone who's owns 3 properties.
Right.
Well, if they go to sell an investment property, they may not know that capital gains tax even exists.
Right.
So helping them through that. And then we talk about, how do you help someone move? How do you help them with getting rid of all the stuff that we accumulate over a lifetime? How to work with the family, because the adult children and even the grandchildren will be involved. It's a course that so many people say could easily be 5 days.
Right.
Never mind
and how many days?
It's 2 days.
2 days, yeah. And then they become accredited as well.
Yeah.
So that's a nice feather in your cap as well. And that qualifies for the points as well?
Yeah, they get 11 CE credits for that. And we actually have a follow-on course that goes more into the psychology of seniors and more into the practicalities of marketing. The marketing component could be days long itself, but there's only so much time. So.
Right, okay. Now, do I understand that you're also offering this course to mortgage brokers and even financial planners and other professionals as well?
What we've found over the years is that almost every single class will have 2 or 3 people who are either just mortgage agents or realtors and mortgage agents. We have financial planners, we've had lawyers, we have salespeople from retirement residences. We've had people from the head offices of some of the chains of retirement residences all coming and taking the course. So the first step in branching it out was I rewrote the course into a 1-day course for mortgage professionals.
Okay.
Because, again, people don't get trained in how to work with seniors.
Right.
And that's being offered. It has 6 CEUs from camp, and it's being offered as a self-study online course.
Okay. So, self-study and class, or just
self-study online?
Yeah. Okay, very good. So the website, again, is educationforresults.com. I encourage you to go check it out. Chris Newell, CEO and lead instructor from Smarter. So make sure you get your training in. So it sounds like some great opportunities there. In the world of training, better negotiations, from me to we, how to take your business to the next level, and by getting an assistant, and also with the Accredited Seniors Agent Program. Chris, thank you very much for being here. Very much appreciate it. We're going to take a very short break, and we're going to be back with Robert Buckler, talk about the Condominium Act. He is a condominium consultant from Baradan Management and Consultant. That's his company. And he's got some interesting ideas. New condo directors should be required to take a course, and more. Be right back.